Gopher, we got a brand new bottle of bourbon here we
Yeah.
never had before.
Something is a triple oak. You believe that? Triple oak.
Yeah, so Alan Marks, who is the official photographer of the Gopher's Corner Whiskey Drinker Group, he gifted me this bottle of Angel's Envy Triple Oak. This is a brand new release, so no one's really had it before, other than the last couple weeks it's been out. Just like it says, it's triple oak. So they're taking Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which is normally finished in a port wine barrel.
Okay. Oh, I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah.
This has no port in it, though.
No. So it's not finished in a port wine barrel. It's actually finished in 3 separate oak barrels. So that being a Hungarian oak, a French oak, and what they call a Chinkapin oak, which I understand is just an oak tree in Kentucky. All right, so it's a Kentucky oak, a French oak, and a Hungarian.
Well, I'm getting a Hungarian, drink it.
So they're aging it for, I believe, 4 years in the first barrel, and it spends a few months in each of the other barrels.
Okay? Sure, makes sense.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna say it has a good smell.
It does smell pretty good.
Actually, it almost smells like there is some type of wine in it.
Yeah. Now, Gopher and I have been to the Angel's Envy Distillery in Louisville, and a great place if you get a chance to go there. We've enjoyed a lot of different things they had. The usually a little bit on the pricey side, but
not crazy.
Not crazy, but they deliver a good product. Now, this is a 92 proof, and it's a little pricey. It's about $75 a bottle. So
And what's your normal Angel's Envy? Probably like 59-ish.
50.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 55 around there.
Don't really look at it. It's not my cup of tea, but.
Well, I had, they're just sort of getting into doing more experimenting. We had their first barrel proof they came out with last year, and then there's this. So we'll want to give it a shot. What do you think, Brian?
I already took a little sip.
Okay.
Man, I'm liking it.
What do you like about it?
Right away, got I got a sweet taste, and then as it went down, it was very smooth, and it had a great finish. I mean, all the way around, it's definitely a $75 bottle. It's pretty good stuff.
Oh, it's funny. You get this smell out of it. It almost smells like candy, like a sweet candy, maybe like a. Not Nerds, more like a Skittles, I guess.
Skittles.
Skittles.
I don't really get the. I was a little concerned when it said triple oak.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be like
very oaky,
chewing on some bark, but
yeah,
no, it's not at all. Matter of fact, you can see the color. I mean, it's a little, maybe a little bit darker than some of the other ones, but honestly, I don't really taste heavy oak. With considering after just setting 3 different barrels,
yeah.
I think it mellowed it out if it did anything,
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and we've had some double oaks before. Woodford Reserve comes to mind.
Yeah, it's the one that.
And it does make it usually a little darker and usually a little oakier. But I think you're going to get more oak if it's sitting in one barrel for 10 years than it is 3 barrels for 4 years. I think, but I don't know. I mean, this isn't overly oaked at all. I don't think.
No, but it's a good flavor. I think it's very sweet.
Didn't they tell us that one of the distilleries, sitting longer doesn't do that much more, or something like that? You get to a point where it doesn't, by sitting it in the same barrel, that it doesn't really change it up that much.
Well, I think you're going to get different opinions on that, depending on what distillery you're asking.
I think we were at Dad's.
Yeah,
they said something to us about that, about the barrels.
I think there's diminishing returns after a certain period, but I mean, you have some of the most popular bourbons in the world are 18 years old,
10 years,
15, 20, happy to the 23-year-old. And some people say there's actually, they'd rather have a 15-year-old than the 20 or the 23, because it's overruled, it's. But I don't know, I mean, I guess it's all different. But I would think, at least in my personal experience, I mean, if you get 8, 10, 12, 15 years old, I mean,
I'd be curious if,
it doesn't need to be.
while it's aging, taste it at 5 and then do the same thing at 10.
Yeah,
And say, okay, what's the difference here?
I think they do.
Typically, on some of the cheaper bourbons I'll follow it down with a beer, but, this, I don't want to. It tastes
Yeah,
pretty good.
you don't wanna mess it
This
up.
is this is very sweet and
It is really sweet.
it's not like
That's why I
a
said
sweet, it's not like a sweet wheat, it's like a sweet candy. It's like a candy.
Yeah, it's like a candy sweet. I kind of, it reminds me of, like those banana runts. Those little
I think if I put
little
Skittles,
sugar candies.
if I had Skittles in my mouth, the bourbon in the Skittles, it'd be the same. Bourbon Skittles, what do you think of that?
I know a lot of people didn't get to try it, but this is actually, reminding me of the Penelope Rio. Yeah,
Rio.
I don't know that you got to try that or not, but, the barbecue guru, let me have some of his bottle, and then we had a little bit of it in, Kentucky when we were there last year. At that place where you could pay by the pour. But it's got that, it's
You're
sort of
talking
that
about a
banana
bar?
sweet,
Talking about the Barnes place?
no, the bar we were at. That was like a liquor store bar.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, it's really good, I like the sweetness to it. I like the softness and the subtlety. And so,
Any news on the mash bill on this thing?
so it's a rye. I mean, it's a bourbon that has obviously at least 51% corn, and it has rye as a secondary ingredient. But I don't know the actual mash bill on it.
That's just because whenever I get that sweet right away, I think of the wheat. But you were saying, nah, no wheat.
No wheat in this.
I don't think so.
This is going to be rye, but it's the rye isn't really too evident.
No, you get a small little, I don't even know if you call it a hug, it's kind of like a doggy lick kiss in your face, that's all it is. And
Yeah, it's a good
doggy
bottle.
lick in the face, how you like that?
Yep, you want to stick a good bottle on your shelf?
Let's do some ratings on this bottle. Who wants to go first?
Oh.
Eight.
You're up.
Well, as I said, the first chance I got when I took a sip out of this, it was sweet. First thing I got, almost, do you get the orange kind of sweet or just very sweet is first thing I got.
Mhm.
And as I swallowed it down, I was like, wow, oh, very smooth, man. It was very, very nice. And I totally expected this to be very, very strong, woody oak
Yeah.
or oak taste, and it's not there. It has a beautiful finish, smooth as can be, and so, price point way up there. If anything, I can take some points off of that, but it's a premium bottle, so I mean,
Mhm.
that's what you're gonna get. And so I'm gonna go 8.3.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Looks good.
It's very good.
All right. 8-3 from Double B, and we'll go to Gopher for his
Okay, so
thoughts.
Halloween's around the corner. And if you're sitting out front giving out candy and giving out like Skittles or candy corn or something that, no kid ever wants, but this is a good Skittles / something in that area. It does have a slight little, I don't call it a hug, I call it a doggy lick. And I don't know why I come up with that name, but it's like, just gives you a little, like when a dog jumps in my face. It has a fantastic smell of a sweet candy. Like, you think of a sweet candy, I mean, even those little, what are those things called? They're like little, they're not marshmallows, but they're a little harder than most marshmallows. They're orange.
What, circus peanuts?
Peanuts, I think they're called peanuts, yeah.
Circus peanuts.
Yeah, something like that. Oh my God, it's weird, but this is a Halloween bourbon. I'm gonna call it a Halloween bourbon. I'm gonna take a sip on. I say, it does give you a tingle, I'd say a tingle in the throat, not a, and it is a Halloween bourbon. Buy this bottle,
Oh, bourbon.
go out and sit there with the kids coming up. By the time you get done the whole thing, you'll be fine. I'm gonna give it, okay, so. I'm gonna go a little different Brian on this, because, I've had a lot of liqueurs and stuff like that. This is like a liqueur more than it is like a bourbon, okay. I'm gonna go with a 6-1. And not because of price point or anything, but I've had like other like liqueurs that almost taste like this. But this is actually a great bourbon. I'm just going a different way because I think it's a candy and it's Halloween. So
The great bourbon, but it's a 6-1.
6-1 is a good number for me. Usually I'd give a 4-2. So you're
I
lucky.
heard it give a 5.8.
But it's different. It's more like a liqueur though. I mean, it's weird.
I don't agree with
Nah,
that.
I don't agree with that either, because it's not thick, you don't get that thick, all the sugar that's in it. The liqueur, you get this thick
I don't know,
taste
this
from a
tastes,
liqueur.
this tastes sugary. It almost tastes like there should be wheat in it. I mean, I don't know why, but it tastes like there should be wheat in it. So what did I say? 6-1? 6-1?
Okay.
I was gonna go 3.1 because of Halloween, or 31, but not to be rude to them.
Yeah. So I really like this bottle. I think that it has a lot to offer. It's very unique in that how sweet it is, especially up front. I want to talk a little bit about the color. I got to pour myself just a little bit more here, but it's got a nice. I thought it may even be a little bit darker than this, but got a nice copper color to it. The nose is really pleasant. It's sweet candy. It's also got some floral. It's just like a like a say like lavender. It's just a really nice smell. I mean, if you imagine like you're washing your hands with a nice lavender soap and smelling them, that's kind of what I get on the
I can
nose.
see that.
On the palate, yeah, very sweet. I get this banana note. Brian described it as more of an orange, and I guess that's fair. It's just depending what side of your mouth it's hitting, which taste buds. But I get an banana.
Game on.
I get a banana, and it's like those little runts, those little runt candies, and it does remind me of the Penelope Rio series in that way, in that it's nice and sweet and has a little banana flavor. I wouldn't say it's complex. It's soft, it's subtle, it's got that banana note, candy sweetness, and it does have a really interesting transition. Because I'm picking it up now with each sip, even more so. The rye at the end is actually fairly prevalent. So, I mean, I would say that it's a hug. I mean, I think it hits pretty nice there for 92. I mean, it definitely warms me up. It definitely, I can right now just feel that rye burn. And if I could describe the rye, it's more of a cinnamon rye, but it's there. So I agree with Brian. I did expect a little bit more oak on this, and there was some there, but it's certainly not overly oaked. It's a subtle oak note. So I think for me, the biggest takeaway here is the banana, which you don't get a lot on a bourbon, and the candy. I don't agree with Gopher. I don't think it's a liqueur, anything like that. It's just a really nice, sweet, tasty bourbon, and unique. So I like it. I'm gonna I'm gonna give this a score of an 8.75.
It's seven.
Yeah.
Oh, 5, I never heard that before.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think that it's a specialty bottle. Obviously, at that price, you're not gonna be
It's like on top shelf. Like
yeah, you're not gonna be drinking it all the time, but I really like it, and as compared to the port finish, it's definitely a superior product to that. So I would not shy away from it, even at that price point. I think you're looking for something a little unique, a little something special, a little something on the sweet side. This might be for you. All right, well, that'll do it. Thanks for joining us. We'll hopefully see you again soon, next week, or who knows, but with something special. I enjoyed this bottle.
Sure did.
And,
Very good. Highly
so
recommended.
check it out. Angels Envy Triple.